Hello everyone. And I guess I was going to say good afternoon, but totally depends on where in the world you're joining from. Greetings from the University for Peace, established by the General Assembly of the United Nations. We're really excited to do this today. What we're going to do today is a game show with 4 of our participants as contestants, and we're going to let them introduce themselves in just a second. So just to start off and say so quickly, my name is Julia Delafield. I'm the director of the Center for Executive Education at the University for Peace. And yeah, excited to be with you today.
And hi, everybody. I'm also co-hosting this event with Julia. My name is Hannah Benson. I am the program manager at the UPEACE Centre for Executive Education here in beautiful Costa Rica.
So how's it going to work? For anybody who's from the United States or North America, you might be familiar with the game show Jeopardy. I know I grew up watching it. We weren't allowed to watch an awful lot of TV in our house, but it is a trivia-based game show that was on just at the perfect time in the evening where we were allowed to turn it on for half an hour. But the way it works, there are different categories of questions, and the participants will choose a category and a dollar amount. And this is actually a game where we're going to have a winner, and the winner actually gets a prize. So there's some stakes behind it, although really the biggest thing is to have fun, of course. But the different categories, they'll pick a number, and we'll flip it over, and there will be a question. For most of the questions, what we'll do,
we'd all love to hear a little bit about the contestants or our diploma participants. So I'm going to throw it over to you guys, and we want to hear a little bit about your story, what you're passionate about, who you are and what you do. So that's a very general kind of summary, but I'm going to kick it first to Gabi. You're the first one on my screen. If you could go ahead and unmute and tell us about yourself.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Gabriela Perez. People call me Gabby. I'm actually a school principal in Dominican Republic. We're in our school. We're actually working on a project based on emotional education and restorative practices. So I am very much looking forward to seeing what this new year, a new school year, is going to bring, because it's going to be the first time kids are going to be able to come back to school, because we have been online ever since March of last year. So that's a little bit about me.
Fantastic. Excellent. Vignesh, what about you?
Hello, everyone. This is Vignesh. I have a little over 20 years of IT experience, originally from India, but I've been working in the US for the past 14 years. During my corporate world experience, I started realizing that I don't really have a legacy that I'm leaving behind. So I was questioning myself, what sort of an impact do I bring to the community around me, and how do I get started? So I started volunteering my time with my skills, providing technology solutions to local nonprofit organizations. And then I saw real impact, the value that I got in for a local school when the pandemic hit. And we had all the technology in place to scale up. So was wondering, how do I bring this globally? How do I spread this concept globally and benefit other nonprofits around the world? So I set out on a mission to gain skills that would help me. And that's how I landed on UPEACE, and I took up some of the courses here.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Vignesh. Katarina, you're up.
Hi, everybody. My name is Katarina. I'm from Slovakia. I'm working currently at the International Atomic Energy Agency in Vienna at the Incident and Emergency Center. I've been there for almost 5 years now. I'm a UPEACE graduate. I graduated 10 years ago at the University of Peace in International Law and Settlement of Disputes. So I decided to continue with my education, and I chose UPEACE again to do my diploma in the global leadership. I'm almost done with it, and I'm very excited to share with you today any thoughts and experiences that I've been having on my journey.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. And Cherish, last but not least.
Hi, everyone. I am from Trinidad and Tobago. I work in communications and public relations, and I am really passionate about using technology, specifically communication technology, to solve social problems or any problems that I see where I feel that I can help. My background is a mix between communications and international relations. And I'm really excited to have been a part of the diploma program. I really enjoyed it. And I'm looking forward to seeing how I can use it.
Excellent. Thank you so much. So now we can dive into the game here. And
All right, so Gabriela, that means you get to choose the first question. Where would you like to go on the board?
Lord help me. Let me start with what is diploma for 200?
How many courses are needed to complete a diploma at the University for Peace?
we've got Katarina first with Apple.
Katarina, all right. So
Go
how
ahead.
many courses? 5. All right.
Okay,
where
I
would
would
you-
like to have the question from audience for 500.
Ooh, go right to the big numbers. All right. Esme, can you give us the first question from the audience, please? And remember, you guys,
Yes.
the audience can type in questions at any point.
Yes. First question, how long is each class?
So
Okay, so this depends. You have some courses that are of duration of 4 weeks. You have duration of 5 weeks, also of 6 weeks, but you also have some on-site courses that you can take in Costa Rica that are of a shorter duration because they are much more intense. So they are of 2 or 3 days because this is suited for people that are working. So we have to assume that they cannot be present at the UPEACE for a longer period of time, but it's more or less equivalent to the online of 4 to 6 weeks. And then the online courses are of a duration between 1 hour to 2 hours, but some professors extend to 2.5 hours. So more or less, this is the duration.
that was a very comprehensive and awesome answer. And I'm seeing that I already messed up. Okay, so we're gonna change names really quickly because it was actually Gabriela who got the last one. And I gave the points to Katarina, which was just not correct.
Julia, you're new at hosting a game show. That's okay.
My first time. That was a great answer, Katarina. Obviously, we don't have the answer down because we didn't know what the question was going to be. But that's completely correct. They range in length. You can do a hybrid diploma where you come to Costa Rica and some of your courses are short because we have people traveling in, or the online courses take 4 to 6 weeks. So that's perfect.
Excellent.
Okay, and we're playing around with the dynamic as we go because we're getting used to this. So to decide who gets to pick the next one, because we want everybody to get to be involved. Okay, we're gonna go back to the chat box if you're all ready.
And I'm going to go ahead and ask you guys a question. What is your favorite color? Oh, they're coming in all at once. Vignesh, red.
All right, so Vignesh, you get to pick
All
the
right, I'll go with
category.
the UPEACE Experience 400.
UPEACE Experience for 400. What are 2 ways in which you can interact with your peers during an online course?
Oh, there are multiple ways, 2 ways. Okay, one is with the online forums. So there is a online Moodle platform that's provided with the course, and the course online has all the participants for your class in there, and you get to interact with them on a weekly basis or whenever you feel like on certain topics, right? So in fact, the teachers encourage that we have that interaction. The other one is most likely towards the end of the course, there are joint project works that you get to do. So you would have to either jointly work on a presentation, or you would do your own presentations, interact with them, get feedback, provide feedback, and go back and do your individual presentations before submissions.
Excellent. Also a very, very comprehensive answer, Vignesh. Yes, there are discussion forums on every online course. You can interact with both peers and your facilitator, peer interviews and assignments, which you also referenced. And there also are live weekly sessions in which you get between 1 and 2 hours to and understand some of the content, but also it's a very interactive and dynamic experience that you can also provide a space for interaction. So excellent job. Points for
And
Vignesh.
just to add in, because I think it's so cool to show how well this works. At the beginning of this, we needed Cherish's phone number, and Vignesh had it just from being in class with her. So I think that the interaction actually works because
Maybe I take the UPEACE Experience for 300.
All right. Okay, so this is a totally open question for you. Tell us 3 things that make the UPEACE courses unique for you in your experience.
Well, first, what I find the most unique is that you are completely free and allowed to say your opinion no matter what. You can discuss anything. You can ask the professor about anything that you wish, and you are never being judged. There is not any agenda that would be in the courses, you know, like sometimes you have agendas, especially at national universities, which is something that is absolutely not the case at UP. So I find this the most important for me, that there is a free thinking and it allows you to think behind your usual horizons. Then the second thing is that the classmates that you meet are very interesting people from all around the world. I'm based in Austria, but I met very many interesting people from, for example, the Americas or another countries in Europe. And the third is that you can always keep in touch with the professor. If you feel like this professor really inspired you, he's always very happy to share his LinkedIn profile with you or keep in touch. And I'm still in touch with 2 professors that I really liked. And I feel like thinking in the same direction. And I think it's a quite of an added value that the professor still has the time, ability, and interest to keep in touch with you, which is also something that doesn't really happen at regular courses where the professor is just simply done with the course and he goes, right? So these are the 3, for me, unique things about UPEACE.
And yes, we have amazing professors and amazing people in the courses. The content's pretty cool as well. And yet sometimes we like to say it's the guests who make the party, and the guests in our program are pretty awesome.
I will take the UPEACE experience for 500, please.
All right.
Right to the top.
Okay, so the 500 ones are a little more difficult, but name 3 professional sectors that are highly present amongst UPEACE diploma participants. So in the classes you've been in, what sorts of people, where are they coming from professionally?
I would say education, public service, and technology.
Great answer. We have a number of things in here. Basically, at the end of the day, we have people from all sectors, but you're right. Always have lots of people from education in different ways, from university professors to school administrators to everything in between. We have lots of people who are starting their own social entrepreneurship ventures or NGOs. That's one thing to highlight a little bit beyond that, because the social innovation diploma in particular is kind of designed to guide people through that process. We have a lot of corporate people. We actually have a number of people who are coming from technology and other fields where, much like Vignesh said at the beginning, they're looking for that. How do I give back? What's my purpose beyond my day-to-day? And then we also do have a number of people, as is the case with Katarina, who are related with the UN system in some way, which also brings an interesting touch to what we're doing.
I'll take a question from the audience for 400.
All right, Esme, give us a question
Yes.
from the audience.
I have a question that Bill Dunwoody, sorry, I'm not pronouncing your name well. Maybe you can unmute yourself and ask that one.
Are there scholarships available for both the executive diploma and the degree program? So I'm considering the possibility of either one.
Thank you.
I believe so, because there was one scholarship that I saw that had to do with the Caribbean region. And then there's another scholarship that you could actually find. I'm almost certain it's on the webpage, because I participated on that one. And I believe it was last year, but I do believe it was in the UPEACE Centre page, where you can actually try and see if you can get the scholarship to do the Global Leadership Program, which is the diploma that I'm doing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll go on that one. Great answer, Gabriela. Yes, we have them periodically. There are some that are really fixed programs. Gabriela's right, we've done a big one in the Caribbean that's actually open right now. If anybody knows, and anybody in the Caribbean looking to join this weekend, it closes, so it's close. We do one ourselves once a year, usually around April, March, where it's an open thing. And then the other thing just to mention is that we do constantly do some merit and need-based scholarships to our programs. They're usually not full scholarships, they're usually partial. But for anyone who is a good fit with the program, really passionate about what they're doing, and finance is a barrier, we'd love to at least have that conversation and see if we can ease it. And the other thing just to mention is we do a lot of payment plans too, which tends to make life easier for people if they realize they don't have to pay the full amount at once, but can break it up. The program can take up to 1.5 years. So if you're able to pay in installments during that period, it can help a lot as well.
Perfect. Yeah, I think the bottom line here is they just want to make sure that these really impactful programs, and for many people life-changing, are accessible to anyone from anywhere in the world across any kind of professional sector. So
now you hear me. I take the last category for 500. Let's try this.
All right, so here's another tough one. These bottom ones are more difficult. Name 2 of the top 4 countries we're currently represented in the UPEACE Diploma program.
Well, I believe that one must be Trinidad and Tobago. I believe, and second, I would say US, but maybe it's Jamaica. No. I have pretty many people from US. I would say Trinidad and Tobago and US. Let's see.
Great answer. So these are our top 4 represented programs in the courses. Trinidad and Tobago, Costa Rica, the US, and India is the 4th one. As came up earlier around the scholarship program, we ran a big scholarship program in Trinidad, which both brought some people, well, it was in the whole Caribbean region, but it brought in a lot of interest in Trinidad, so that above and beyond the people who got the scholarship, we suddenly had a surge in people who were able to join us from that region, which has been really fun and opened up a brand new area of knowledge for all of us who were maybe less familiar with there. I feel like I've learned an awful lot about the Caribbean in the past year, which has been great. And then, yeah, we're located in Costa Rica, so we have a natural pull here. Lots of people from the US, and then India might be the surprise one that people wouldn't know about, but there it is.
Yeah, so these are the top 4, but just generally the UPEACE diploma programs cater to people who are from 60 plus different countries. So it's a very international participant body.
If you want to do a hybrid diploma with at least one course on campus, which country do you need to visit?
Costa Rica.
Yes, exactly. See, you go to the lower point ones, and they're pretty easy. That's exactly right. So the diplomas can be done fully online, and a lot of people do them fully online. And yet for those people who are already in Costa Rica or would love the excuse to do an educational travel vacation in the country, we do run short programs that are 1 to 5 days where you can come and do a piece of the diploma with us at UPEACE, which of course is an unforgettable experience and lots of fun. We have a really beautiful campus, actually. It's kind of nice. So thank you. Okay, so I have to give the points to...
I will go with what is diploma for 300.
All right. Okay, so you get an open one. What's been your favorite part of your diploma experience so far?
That's an easy one. It was the Happiness Summit, the Interact. I did it online, and it was just an amazing experience to see so many people from so many parts of the world just trying to work towards happiness. It was a very magical experience for me. It was like before and after in terms of my personal quest for happiness.
Wow. That's great, Gabi. And interestingly enough, this is also the prize at the end of this game. It's a free ticket for yourself, or in this case, Gabi, since you've already done it, either for yourself or for a friend, to our annual Gross Global Happiness Summit coming up in March 2022. So great to hear that. It's definitely a life-changing event. I'll talk a little bit more about it towards the end. That's awesome.
Well, and yeah, that's one of our less traditional courses, and yet something we've definitely decided to include in the diploma because it's so impactful, but it just brings together all sorts of people interested in the field of well-being and how to have more of it, which is pretty great.
Can you hear me? Okay. What is Diploma 500?
All right. In 2021, UPEACE added a new element to the diploma program. What was it?
May I?
Go ahead, Katarina.
Yeah, I believe it's like a personal coaching session. Is it offered by UPEACE? I think it's 2 sessions, right? Where you no?
Exactly. Yes, so there are
Okay.
actually 3 sessions. We've just upped it quite recently to 3 sessions during your diploma program. And essentially what it is that we match the participant profile with one of our expert coaches on our team. And we make sure that you have 3 one-hour sessions with your coach throughout the program to really align your goals and your learning journey with what you want to get out of the program. So that is a new element that we've added on this year. Very excited about it. And Katarina, you got the points.
And yeah, you get the points with saying 2 because it was 2. We played around with the
Right,
format
you're right.
and we've just increased it to 3. It's a brand new thing that it's going to be 3 instead of 2 because we decided 2 just wasn't enough. But we knew that'd be hard because you all started your diplomas when it wasn't a part of the program yet, and now it is.
I will take miscellaneous for 400, please.
All right, an open question. So this one's just for you to answer. What skills and knowledge have you gotten from the diploma program that you feel you're most likely to use in your future?
I was aware of the importance of building teams, of applying positive leadership in order to lead your team. So I would definitely put positive leadership on the top, like on the top number 1. And then the ability to work from your strength and from your team's strength is one that I also appreciated, having to work with my team during this difficult time. I think that was also a very nice skill that I learned from you guys.
There are lots of things. It was interesting, again, putting this together. We had no idea what people would say, but the programs run from that sort of like soft skill, knowing yourself, knowing your strengths, how to bring that to a team, to much more almost technical skills like writing a monitor and evaluation plan and setting up a budget for fundraising and understanding how to build a project. So there's a wide range in there of what could have come out as the top skill for people. Awesome. All right.
I'll do question from the audience for 300.
All right, Esme, what's our next question?
It's a really open question. Can you tell us about some of the people you met in the diploma program?
So, well, Vignesh is one of the people that I met, and I actually got to know him because we had to do one of those one-on-one pair interview sessions. And we actually found that our projects that we're both working on are very similar and that we were facing a lot of the same challenges, but because his area of experience is different from mine, he was able to give me a lot of insight and ideas that I hadn't even thought of. I also met Gabriella as well, and got to know her a little bit just from in some classes, you have little breakout sessions where you get to talk to your classmates about a topic related to your class for the day. And so I would have chatted with Gabriella a few times. And I also met some people from my own country who I had not met before, like Chandel. I don't remember her last name, but I do remember her. And so we live in the same country, have the same interests, but completely different fields of experience and had never met before, but we met through this program. So it's been exciting in all those different ways.
Excellent. Thank you, Cherish. I think you just highlighted one of the really big things that sets this program apart from others. It's the network, it's the people that you meet, and oftentimes, more often than not, your relationships that start perhaps within a course or within this 5-course diploma program extend way beyond the program itself into other ventures that people might decide to start together, kind of partnerships or alliances, or simply just having someone to rely on for professional advice or just friendly relationships. So you highlighted a really kind of excellent point here, and glad that you're enjoying that piece of the program.
So I'll go into the miscellaneous 300.
Okay, miscellaneous for 300. Open question. What's been your favorite course so far and why?
My favorite so far was the skill for effective negotiations. I think one of the reasons, I mean, it's really hard to pick, and that's why it took me a while. And I think one of the reasons is because you know, when you talk about negotiations, you know, it is not just about your perspective, it is about everyone else's perspective also as well. And you know, it depends on the context in which you apply your negotiation skills and techniques. The professor that handled the course was amazing. You know, he is actually like a negotiator for the United Nations, right? He goes and visits countries, leaders of many worlds, and does negotiation. So some of the examples that he gave us, real life examples, were pretty amazing. More than the actual technique of negotiation, it's the experiences that counted the most for me. So that was my favorite part.
So what is a diploma for 400?
All right. For the Global Leadership Diploma, there are 2 courses that can count as the required course. Name them both.
I think it's the positive leadership and the regenerative leadership. No?
That's perfect. Good job.
Yeah.
You are quite well versed in the diploma program. I love it. Yes, those are the 2. Oops, I went away from that a little quicker than I meant to, but there's positive leadership, which is much more focused on sort of understanding yourself and your strengths and how to bring them out in the people around you. So looking at leadership in a very personal way. And then regenerative leadership is looking more at leadership of a project, leadership of a program. How do I make a sustainable impact where my project or my program functions beyond just myself as a leader? So they're different approaches to leadership, but we consider them both to be of equal importance. And so either one of them can be taken as the required course for the Global Leadership Diploma, or you can take them both. Low-hanging fruit.
How about UPEACE experience for 100?
Okay. Super easy low ball question. The University for Peace was established by the General Assembly of what organization?
The United Nations.
Good call. Amazing. Yes, we talk about this a lot, but one of the reasons is because it's sort of fundamental to who we are as an institution. We've set up all of our courses to resonate with the values that are part of the United Nations. We love that we have a really international group of participants, and we aim to grow that and make sure, like when we talked about partial scholarships, we're always looking for diversity in our programs. That's an important thing to us. And so really the fact that we're part of the United Nations system means a lot to us and how we're structured as an organization. So we do underline it proudly.
What is the diploma for 100?
Okay, what are the 2 diploma programs offered by the UPEACE Centre for Executive Education?
The Global Leadership Diploma. And I actually can't remember the second one, so I'm going to have to pass this one to someone else.
There we go.
Sorry.
Should we see who wrote in next, or should we pass to, I saw Vinesh's hand too.
I can go.
Vignesh was next. Go ahead.
All right.
Diploma in Social Innovation.
So
Yes.
Which I'm signed up for next. I finished my GLD, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You're doing both, right? We actually have been having more and more people who finish one and say, you know what, I want to move on and do the next one, which is amazing. And we have sort of a special program set up for people to be able to do that and take a little bit less classwork to make it possible. Yeah, so we have 2 different ones, and the main difference is the required course. The Diploma in Social Innovation is really looking at what is social innovation and how can I put together a project or a organization, social enterprise, where impact is at the heart of what I'm doing. And so the required class is called Entrepreneurship, Innovation, and Social Change, and you actually write a business plan for what that is. In Global Leadership, as we talked about, the required course is focused on leadership, and the differentiation there is that not everybody wants to start something, and that's completely understandable. Although you can take the social innovation diploma from almost a more academic point of view if you just like to learn about the subject as well. But those are our two programs that we offer.
Cars. Vignesh, you got it.
All right, I'll do question from audience 200.
All right, Esme.
Yes. How many hours per week do a course take?
So there are two parts to this, right? So one is the live interactive session, which is typically about 1 to 1.5 hours. But your study material for the week and the assignments, it's probably going to take a little bit around 5 to 8 hours, 5 to 10 hours in some cases.
That is a great answer, Vignesh. And honestly, there's a great deal of variation. So that was a hard course. Some of the courses take more time than others. And when you join the diploma program, one of the first things we encourage people to do is set a meeting with Esme and learn about the basics of the courses and how they work, because there's a whole set of classes that take a little more time, some that take a little less, but there is always a live session, which on most of them is an hour and a half. Occasionally there are a couple courses, like right now we're running a global citizenship education where sometimes it's up to 3 hours, but still it's usually just a once a week time slot. And then there are the assignments and readings beyond that. So I guess the big thing to underline there is just that they're made for busy working professionals. We understand that almost everyone in our programs is doing a lot of other important and neat stuff with their lives as well. So it's not made to be your only focus. And yet, yes, you have to have some time to dedicate to it in order to really get a lot out of it as well.
I'll take miscellaneous for 200, please.
All right. What's the difference between a regular online course and a live virtual workshop?
I believe that the live virtual workshops, you just take the class live, as the word says, and then the online course has a part that you work through the live sessions, but then another part that you work with materials during the week, aside from the live courses, I think.
Good answer. So they both do have both elements, but it's about the emphasis. So the live virtual workshops are much more focused on what they call the synchronous learning, that live learning that happens in the Zoom room with the other participants. And the extra materials are fewer. There's less, and there's not as big of an assignment at the end either. So it's really focused on that face-to-face learning, whereas the online courses are built to focus, giving you a lot of time to work your way through a lot of materials, which depending on the subject, there are some things that naturally lend themselves to this, right? Like if you're doing a class on fundraising and you need to research a sector and figure out who you should be building relationships with to try to set up fundraising relationships, that can't be done in a 2-hour online face-to-face thing. That requires some time outside of class as well. So that is the two formats, and great job.
Perfect.
I take a question from audience for 100.
All right, and Esme, can you give us the final audience
The
question?
last one. How long does it take to finish the diploma programs?
Usually, I understand the maximum duration should be 1.5 years, but it's pretty much up to you. You can also do it in 4 months or 5 months if you're lucky to have some courses that are a bit overlapping, or you do one after the other, but the maximum time should be 1.5 years.
Fantastic answer. Yeah, I would say the average going through the program is probably around a year or a little over a year. Most people probably take in the 14-month range, but there's a lot of flexibility. If it's all you're doing and you can take a lot of classes at the same time, you can finish within 6 months. And if you have other obligations and you need to have, say you have a big project going on at work in the first quarter of the year and you don't want to program any classes in, you simply don't program any classes then, and you can wait and put some off until afterwards. So 18 months is the upper end limit to try to keep people on a little bit of a schedule so that they don't just, spend 4 years trying to finish their diploma. what are 2 different places where you could celebrate the achievement of completing the diploma when you finish?
LinkedIn for sure. And maybe I'll make a trip down to Costa Rica when I could and celebrate with you guys.
There you go. Well, this is a pretty open one as well. Most people put it on their CV or their resume. A lot of people bring it to their employer and share that they've done it, as that sort of is an extra credential. Other social media beyond LinkedIn. The point of this question is really to share that, it is a valid credential. We have people ask us sometimes, what does this credential mean? What's it worth? This is professional development. It says a lot. It says that you're investing your time and energy and resources in learning about areas that are important to you professionally and personally. And I think that most potential employers, most people who are interested in what you're doing are going to take that seriously, and they're going to understand you a little bit better or in a slightly different way because you chose to prioritize this in your life. So we definitely encourage people to put it out there and share the credential when they are able to. And with that, I think it looks like we have a clear winner.
Congratulations to Katarina. You won the Diploma game show.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And what does that mean in terms of what you receive? You'll be getting a free ticket to our online Growth Global Happiness Summit this March through 4th through 6th. And again, Gabi talked a little bit about it, but essentially it's an executive summit that brings together people who are interested in well-being and happiness, maybe coaches, people who are interested in well-being and happiness for their own lives, people who are interested in bringing it to their organizations. It'll be a really fun 2 days, and you have a free ticket to join us. So congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Overall, we just really want to thank you guys for coming out today, coming out online, whatever we want to call that, and spending the time to talk to us and share your experience. We had a lot of fun putting it together, as we said, and we hope you guys had fun playing it as well, and certainly even thinking about who we thought would make a good group of contestants on the show. We had fun thinking through who was going to bring good energy and be fun to have on board. And we're really happy that you guys joined us today.
Excellent. So possibly I know we have just 3 minutes left. I'm going to do a quick screen share and share just a few other things about our diploma program. Many of those things you've already heard, but just do a quick recap here. So let me know if you can share my screen, or you can see my screen. Yeah, okay, good. As we've talked about, the 2 diploma programs that we offer are the Diploma in Social Innovation and the Global Leadership Diploma. The end idea with both of them is that you can deepen your impact in your sphere of influence and live your passion, whether it's more the social innovation space or kind of the leadership space. It's 5 courses within the period of 18 months, 1 requisite course and 4 electives of your choice. We do that kind of by design. So essentially you could complete the Diploma in Social Innovation or the Global Leadership Diploma with similar courses. And that's because we want to make sure that you can take the courses that most resonate with you and are most applicable to your overall goals and professional needs or desires. And then there are 3 personalized coaching sessions included in this program. So you'll get 1 at the very beginning, 1 at the middle of the program, and 1 towards the end. And really the idea here is to make sure that you are taking your learning journey in a way that you feel like is most applicable to what you want to get out of it, and ensure that you have success throughout the program. Here are just a few of our courses. I believe I counted, we have 14 courses in total that we offer. A mix of online, live virtual workshops, which we talked a little bit about, and on-site workshops in Costa Rica. We are just starting to delve more into that as COVID is kind of passing us by here. So all of these themes and topics are really applicable to lots of professional sectors. They're very practical in nature, so you'll walk away with something that you can easily implement right away in your context. And all of them are offered 2 to 3 times a year. So if you miss the first one, you know that another one will be coming very close behind it. And this is the diploma. At the end of your journey, you'll either receive a Global Leadership Diploma or a Diploma in Social Innovation. And as Julia mentioned, this says a lot. Putting this on your LinkedIn profile and on social media, on your resume to other people, in your professional sector, it just means that you are investing in your professional development. You care about growth. And if you look at the logos here, the University for Peace logo has the United Nations logo embedded within it, which also speaks loudly about the journey that you've been on. And then I think I just want to end with an invitation to get in touch with us. It all starts with a conversation. If you're interested in the diploma programs, or perhaps just getting started with an individual course, we're here for you. We'd love to connect with people, whether it's via email. I'll also put a link in the chat box if you want to schedule a call, talk with any of our team members at any time. This is just, yeah, all good things start with a conversation, right? So if you have any questions, we encourage you to go ahead and reach out.